Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Thank you so much for coming. I'm so excited to welcome you to our first ever, and hopefully first annual, Accelerate Good Global Summit. What if I told you I know a tech entrepreneur who is adding 50,000 users per week, on track to reach 1 million more quickly than Facebook, and another who's grown from 500,000 to 1.5 million students in the last year with a full-time staff of 3. And a third who took $5,000 of her student loan to build an app, and within a year had a contract with one of the country's largest school districts. You'd think I was talking about Silicon Valley's next unicorns, right? I am, except these are a different breed. They're nonprofits, and you'll meet all of them here today. Tech has changed how we hail a ride and fall in love, do our laundry. The tech entrepreneurs you'll meet today are different. They're making our kids fall in love with math, providing online career advice to low-income students, and delivering healthcare to people who will never see a doctor. These are problems that markets have not and will never solve. These visionary founders are successful technologists operating in a new market, disrupting our approach to education, healthcare, and human rights. This Accelerate Good Summit is here to put the tech nonprofit sector on the map. We hope that you leave here today as excited and committed to the opportunity as we are.
Hi. Yeah, I'm excited. Hi, I'm Shannon Farley, co-founder of Fast Forward. And I will be honest, we did not start Fast Forward with an idea for a multi-day stake-in-the-ground kind of summit, though it has been a Post-it note on our wall for some time. We started 3 years ago with an idea we borrowed from proven Silicon Valley strategy, but we applied it to tech nonprofits. We launched an accelerator. We took early-stage tech nonprofits from seed to impact. And I'm thrilled to say our founders are flourishing. To date, they've served over 18 million people, and they've raised over 28 million in follow-on funding. They're very impressive. We can't wait for you to meet them today. Fast Forward is the first and only organization committed to tech nonprofits as a sector. And that's one of the reasons we wanted to get you all here today. There has never been a gathering of the founders and the investors and the people who believe in the power of tech for good. It's never happened before. The first tech nonprofit was started in 1989, Benetech, the same year the Berlin Wall fell and Lotus Notes launched. And yet we have never hung out together. And that is crazy. And so we decided we wanted to get you here today. And we have some goals that we want from today. We want you to leave here so inspired that someone here decides they want to launch their own tech nonprofit. We want many of you to meet the organization or the person or the product company who's going to help you get your tech for good ideas to scale. And I really want several of you to decide that this is it. You want to start a foundation for tech nonprofits. And those 3 things, it's not crazy that we could do that today. It's certainly not crazier than a nonprofit accelerator for nonprofits. And that's working out really well. So we're excited for what we can create together. Now, none of this would have been possible without the incredible partnership of Comcast NBC Universal. So I'm really honored to welcome our partner in this, Vice President of Social Responsibility, Jessica Clancy.
Thank you. Thank you. We are so honored to be here. We love Fast Forward. I think for those of you who know, you know they are vanguards in this area. They are accelerating nonprofits, but they're also filling a huge void in the space of social change. They've identified where there's a need, and they are going after it. And we're so happy to be presenting this moment with them, to be presenting tech nonprofits to all of you, and for those of you who are funders, to really come together and galvanize support for this area, because there is a lot of work to be done, and you'll hear from some of those folks today. From our perspective, at Comcast, NBC Universal, we sit at the intersection of media and technology. It's such a powerful place, and we have such a powerful array of assets. And we understand that tech innovation and tech for good more broadly is so important to social change. And that's why we're so fortunate to have partners like Fast Forward and to be here today to be able to present and showcase that to all of you. In addition, I want to make sure that everyone knows that we are also producing brand videos for tech nonprofits. So as part of what we're able to bring to the equation, we know that storytelling and being able to craft your brand and get the word out for what you're doing really helps drive recognition and really helps drive funding. So whether you're a tech nonprofit or you know of a great tech nonprofit here today, please make sure they visit our storytelling booth out there so that we can hear their story and hopefully produce a brand video for them. But thank you so much, Shannon and Kevin and the whole team, for this opportunity. We are so excited for today. Yesterday was amazing. We heard so many great stories around closing the digital divide and the importance of storytelling, the importance of fundraising. We heard from funders, we heard from founders, and we heard about failures and we heard about successes, all which I think shape a great conversation for today. So thank you for this partnership, and thank you all for being here with us.
Thank you.
So we spent a lot of time trying to figure out who would be the perfect person to guide us on this journey as Master of Ceremonies. And we couldn't imagine anyone better than Charles Duhigg. Charles is a master storyteller, and he's well known as the best-selling author of The Power of Habit and Smarter, Faster, Better. He also understands that technology is not always a force for good, and he's won a Pulitzer Prize for his investigative work at the New York Times on the darker side of technology and its impact to workers and communities. And Charles understands risk. He's a former entrepreneur and even spent a terrifying day on the streets of San Francisco as a bike messenger. So I've known Charles for a long time. We were in business school together. And as a former entrepreneur and creative spirit, he didn't exactly fit into one community. Like many of you, he bridges worlds. And so when I reached out to him to ask if he would help put together today's summit for all of you, he immediately enthusiastically said yes. When we wanted to kick off today, we wanted to have the perfect person who really encapsulated the tech nonprofit sector. And we thought about tech entrepreneurs, nonprofit founders, tech investors, philanthropists. Hadi Partovi is all of those things. I'm so excited to see the two of them up here on stage in conversation.
So join us in welcoming them now. Thank you.